I made 55 pieces of content in 4 hours, and I'm going to show you how you can do it too. Too many people I speak to spend a significant, and I mean significant, amount of time creating and producing content. Whilst it is enjoyable and it can feel fulfilling, spending too much time on content is a massive drain on your energy, your resources, but also your business time. And it's dead easy to fall into the trap of spending too long creating content, just excessive time in posting and just making sure everything's perfect, when actually there are much more important tasks that you can spend time on. So in order to be effective with content creation, you need a system, okay? You need something that you can put a little bit of effort into that creates maximum results, so you're not spending too much time on creating the content itself. So I have two systems. I have a system for actually coming up with the ideas and capturing the ideas, and then I have a system for actually creating the content too. So I'm going to show you how last month I made 55 videos in 4 hours, all in 3 simple or pretty simple steps. And the first step is the prep. The key to success is always in the prep, and people forget that. Now, I shoot a lot of content in this room, and I fancied a change of scenery. So I booked a podcast studio where they film everything for you and then just supply the files. Now, you don't have to do this. You don't have to go all out and book a studio. I just did it because I fancied a change. I also wanted to make my content look a little bit different because I am literally chained to this desk for too long. But I also didn't want to film alone. So I joined forces with the LinkedIn legend that is Leah Turner, and we hatched a bit of a plan. And this, I've found, is the best way to create content, or lots of content, in a short space of time. Rather than filming direct to camera pieces like I am now with this video, I found it much easier to record and stage an interview. So I agreed to interview Leah and she agreed to interview me. Win-win. So after booking the studio, all we had to do was list out a bunch of questions to ask each other. So we went with a mix. We didn't just go business, we also went personal as well. So she had about 30 or 40 questions to ask me. I had about 30 or 40 questions to ask her. Perfect. But coming up with the questions themselves is something a lot of people might struggle with. I certainly do. So I look for places to gain inspiration from. Go to things like YouTube, look in the comments, go to Amazon Books and read the reviews and read the questions and things that people are asking. Go to Quora or Reddit or AnswerThePublic.com and just take a look at what people are asking and what people are searching for. You can even go to Google and just type in a few words about your search and see what the predictive text comes up with at the end of the search query. Really simple to do. Now you've got some interview questions, okay? Aim for anywhere between 20 and 50. But whilst we were there, I didn't just do interview questions. I actually did some face-to-camera stuff too. And if you're looking for inspiration or ways to do that quite quickly, go through your old Instagram and your LinkedIn captions or your Twitter feed, for example, pull out the high-performing posts. All you have to do is just turn them into scripts that you can then deliver straight to camera. And whilst I was there with Leah, I managed to do about 17 of these in half an hour. So really effective. The next step is the actual filming. And you don't need a podcast studio, like I say, for this. You do not need a studio, so don't worry. And you don't need a flashy camera either. You can film it all on your phone. And if you really want to spruce things up, you can buy one of these fancy little lapel mic things from Amazon for about 13, 14 pounds, something like that. And they plug straight into your phone. Anyway, if you've not got access to a studio, you can just film on Zoom with a friend. Or you could sit in your living room, for example, and just get your partner to ask you a few questions. The best way to do it is have the camera facing you, but have the interviewer out of the shot. So once they've delivered the question to you, rather than looking directly at the camera, you deliver your response to the interviewer, you know, like a normal interview. Now, a key tip here is to leave the camera recording until you've answered the question in full. This will make things easier for you when you edit because you won't have to sift through loads and loads of files. So anyway, back to the podcast studio. I did my interview, which lasted an hour-ish, and then Leah did hers, another hour. Then I filmed a load of reels face to cam, as I mentioned. And as I say, all these reels were just captions from Instagram and LinkedIn posts, old posts. I didn't have to put any effort into them. Easy work. I copied them into a Google Doc, rearranged them a bit, and then I was ready to go. All I did was have my laptop just out of shot, and I would read one line at a time. Then I will go back to the laptop and look at the line and then deliver it to camera like this. Really, really simple and saves potentially hours. And again, we kept the camera rolling. So I had the good takes and had a load of outtakes all in one file. Between us, we had about 85 pieces of content, all in 4 hours. Then the engineer transferred them to my hard drive and we were on our way with 85 videos there or thereabouts. So now we've got the videos, there's only one thing left to do, editing. Now I don't edit most of my videos. I can't do all the fancy transitions and stuff, but I did actually edit edit the interview videos in this case because I wanted full control. So the first thing to decide on is which software to use for your editing. You'll either be editing on your mobile or you'll be editing on a desktop or laptop. For mobile, I recommend using Captions, CapCut or InShot. They're all either free or very, very cheap. If you're editing on desktop, you can use a really simple software like iMovie, or there's a new tool that's come out called Descript, which is mega cool and strips out all the silence, but choose the simplest one for you. I actually use a program called ScreenFlow, which is mainly meant for screen recordings. It's only available on Mac. I think it's about $120. Anyway, you will now have these singular files, which you need to chop up. So load that file into your chosen software and cut out all the breaths, the stumbles, and the mistakes. Don't bother with any fancy transitions, just strip out the nonsense. And remember, if you want an ultra slick edit, lots of people forget this, but cut out the breaths, no pauses. This non-stop style of editing will help keep your video shorter and also keep people more engaged, which is what the social platforms want at the moment. For extra effect, you can even go into specific clips and zoom in just a tiny bit, just to help with the transition. But don't go mental, just keep things nice and natural. Anyway, once you've got your video edited, the last thing you want to do is put subtitles on it. Some of the programs I mentioned earlier have auto subtitle features built in, but if not, there are a few ways that you can do this. You can upload the video to Instagram and use their auto subs. If you're on iPhone, you can use the Captions app to put them on, or you can use Veed.io, which is the program I use. Super simple. And all three of these programs or apps will actually do auto subs for you, so you don't have to type anything out manually. Again, saves time. Once you've done your edit, export your video and you are good to go. You can post it. Now, if possible, I do recommend getting an editor. But if that's not an option, book out half a day and edit all your videos in one go. Might feel like a painful process, but you will learn and stack skills quicker, and you'll be very grateful when you've got 20 to 50 pieces of content ready to post. You'll also have a massive bank that you can choose to schedule from or post from over the coming weeks. And that, my friends, is how to create 55 pieces of video in 4 hours. Actually, it was less than that because we filmed Leah's videos in that time too. And we did another actual podcast episode. So I've probably been a little bit misleading with the title here. It should have been how to create 55 videos in 2 hours. So you've just gained back 2 hours of your time. Oh well. If you like this and you want to find out more about how we can use this content to win more clients on Instagram and on LinkedIn organically with no ads, then watch this video here because I go into much deeper detail about the strategies that we use. Okay, that's it for this video. I'll see you in this video next.